So the new Vanguard episode came out today for subs because I don't speak Nihongos. And they released a couple of interesting new cards, effects, and whatnot. So let's talk about one of them. Eradicator Tempest Bolt Dragon. This card is used by Naoki, and it is not the break ride. I will maybe discuss the break ride another time. But the point of that right now is to talk about Tempest Bolt Dragon. This card's 11,000, and he has one of the most amazing effects ever! If you think it's underrated, then you are dead wrong. If it's overrated, then you are probably right. So let's go ahead and talk about it, shall we? Okay, so his passive effect, even if he's limit break or not, is for every empty rearguard circle you have on the field, this unit gets plus 1,000 during your turn, obviously. So if you have empty rearguard circles, then your opponent has empty rearguard circles, and you get power from that. So this kind of helps benefit the Eradicator theme, where you retire stuff and you get pluses, and retiring your own stuff, I guess, and you also get pluses. Like that one card in the set 11, the grade 2, grade 1, grade 3, where you can move one to soul and then you can retire something. So that card can really benefit the deck in general, so that's a pretty good card. Overall, the fact that you can just power up yourself for no adequate reason and help make great numbers is pretty good. So like, if you can retire 7 units and you're running the 10k booster, then you're at 28,000? Pretty good. Especially since both your opponent and since your opponent's field is pretty much the gone. So that's pretty magnificent if you ask me. Now his limit break is what I think is really, really amazing. I don't think it's broken, but it's still really good. His effect is during your opponent's end phase you can activate, which is Counterblast 2, and then retire everything on the field. That's pretty awesome. You just retire everything. So if your opponent has a full field and you have 2 cards or 1 card, then you don't care. You'll Counterblast 2 to minus them 4 or 5. That's a lot of cards, especially if you're fighting a deck that relies on its rear guards. For example, Oracle Think Tank Magus, Force in general, a lot of those cards like that, especially if they have no way of plussing back. It's a pretty fantastic card, the fact that you just retire the whole field. I mean, I think that's a little overpowered, and I feel like they should tweak it up a bit, so it's not the ultimate broken, maybe a Persona Blast or an extra Counter Blast instead of Counter Blast 2, because that is really overpowered. Granted, you are retiring your own units, but you don't have to care about that because you can just replace them because you can just prepare for it since it's your deck, and you'll more or less figure out a way to work around it and stuff. So the reason why I think it's really good is what I just said before. If you fight decks that need rearguard potential, they are the dead because they just lost them all. For example, Tetra Dragon. He needs the right rear guards at the right time. If you even mess it up even once, like just one retire, it could screw up the entire strategy, which makes the deck quite vulnerable to retiring effects. And it's even worse if your whole field is gone. And the reason why I think it's kind of bad is for 2 reasons. One, you also retire yourself, so you have to be careful with units to want to play now or later. You could start out playing a lot of grade 3s from the get-go, but you have to be very witty about how you can manage this. And secondly, you are the card is not as good when you're fighting a deck where his or hers Vanguard is self-reliant. For example, Draconic Descendants, somewhat Alfred. I mean, it can be a 21,000 on its own. That's kind of huge if you just summon all the rear guards back. Garmo can summon all of his rear guards back. Whatever. Just units that can stand all by itself. Tetra Dragon is not an example because he sucks. If you know what I mean, because, you know, all your rear guards die. Raging Form Dragon, he can kind of survive that. Minerva, when it comes out, she'll survive that. Just in general, just Vanguard effects that really don't need much rearguard potential. Like those cards, for example. I mean, if you want me to throw out more, it could be like Pentagon Magus, Phantom Blaster Overlord, like stuff that just give itself power in general, and also has the ability to bring back units with ease, like Salome and Garmor, and I said Garmor already, but just in general, like that's kind of its one weakness. But if you can overcome around that and manipulate your units and your opponent units wisely, then Tempest Bolt Dragon is a fantastic unit. And I can totally see it in play, especially since Draconic Descendant is dead. So, if you like it, you should totally run it. Especially, you know, because it's good. I mean, it's only Counter Blast 2. Pretty good effect. Yeah, so, see you guys later. Oh, also, before I end the video, I did record videos of random battles. I should get a tripod that doesn't suck. And yeah, so I'm going to edit those and try to get them up as soon as possible. In the meantime, I'm going to talk about anime cards because there's some crazy cool cards that are coming out. So I'll see you guys later.